Today we gather to honor the famous and legendary people who have left us, to hold their names with care, and to keep their stories alive. Friend, if remembrance matters to you, please like the video and subscribe so more people can join us in honoring them. Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa, born September 27, 1950. Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa died December 4, 2025, in Santa Barbara, California, at 75, from complications of a stroke. Raised across U.S. Army bases while his Hawaii-born father served, and encouraged by his Japanese stage actor mother, Ayako, he grew up balancing discipline with imagination, later noting that his parents named him after Cary Grant, while his brother was named after Gregory Peck. A late-blooming actor, he broke through with The Last Emperor and built a decades-long career that included License to Kill, Pearl Harbor, and a devoted fan legacy as Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat, as well as acclaimed work in The Man in the High Castle. In 2008, he faced a harassment case involving a girlfriend and pleaded guilty, a painful public moment that contrasted with the focused professionalism many colleagues described. He is survived by his children, and his enduring legacy rests in the space he helped open for Asian performers in mainstream action, drama, and genre storytelling. Steve Cropper. Steve Cropper was born October 21, 1940, and died December 3, 2025, in Nashville, Tennessee, at 84, with the cause of death not publicly disclosed as of December 4, 2025. Born in rural Missouri and raised in Memphis, he became one of the quiet architects of American soul, anchoring Booker T and the MGs, and helping define the Stax Records sound with sharp, minimalist rhythm guitar that let singers shine. He co-wrote landmarks like Sittin' on the Dock of the Bay, In the Midnight Hour, and Knock on Wood, and later carried that same musical authority into the Blues Brothers era. His family life was central to his identity in later years, and he was remembered as a devoted husband and father. Honors across his career reflected his influence as both performer and songwriter, and the industry response to his death emphasized how his restrained style became a masterclass for generations. His legacy endures every time a guitarist chooses taste, timing, and feel over flash. Criscilla Anderson. Criscilla Crossland. Anderson was born January 30, 1980, and died December 2, 2025 in the United States at 45 from colon cancer. A vibrant hip-hop dancer and choreographer, she worked on major stages and with the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders before reaching global audiences through Netflix's Country Ever After, where her artistry and long fight with illness were part of the narrative people held close. She was a mother of 3 and a stepmother, and her public messages consistently centered on love, faith, and the everyday courage of showing up for family while pursuing a creative career. Her marriage to country singer Coffee Anderson ended in divorce, and the separation unfolded under the strain of life changes and prolonged treatment, a reminder of how illness can reshape even long relationships. The impact of her story was immediate among dancers and fans, who saw in her a model of disciplined joy. Her legacy lives in the way she blended performance with honest advocacy. Tom Stoppard. Born July 3, 1937. Sir Tom Stoppard died November 29, 2025, at his home in Dorset, England, at 88, with the cause of death not publicly disclosed as of December 4, 2025. Born Tomáš Stroessler to a Jewish family in what is now the Czech Republic, he fled Europe as a child, lost his father during wartime upheaval, and rebuilt his life in Britain after his mother married an English officer whose surname he adopted. He rose from journalism to become one of the defining playwrights of his generation, marrying comic brilliance with moral seriousness in works like Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, Arcadia, The Coast of Utopia, and Leopoldstadt. His awards reflected that reach, including major Tony recognition across decades and an Academy Award for Shakespeare in Love. He was married 3 times, with 2 marriages ending in divorce, and he remained closely connected to his children and grandchildren. The tributes that followed emphasized his generosity of spirit and the way his language made intellect feel alive on stage. His legacy will continue wherever theater dares to be both playful and profound. POORSTACY, the rapper and singer known as POORSTACY, was born December 8, 1996, and died November 29, 2025, in Boca Raton, Florida, at 28, with the cause of death not publicly disclosed as of December 4, 2025. Emerging from Florida's genre-blurring underground, he fused punk abrasion, trap cadence, and emo confession into a sound that helped define a new wave of internet-era vulnerability. Much of his family background remained private, but his lyrics suggested early turbulence and a restless search for identity. He did not publicly build a marital life, focusing instead on music and an audience that found belonging in his raw honesty. The reaction to his death highlighted how younger artists increasingly refuse neat genre boundaries, and how he embodied that shift with fearless style. His legacy rests in the permission he gave fans and peers to be messy, emotional, and loud about survival. Tom Stoppard. Tom Stoppard was born July 3, 1937, in Zlín, then Czechoslovakia, and died on November 29, 2025, at age 88 in the United Kingdom. Cause of death not publicly disclosed as of December 4, 2025. Born into a family unsettled by war, he reached England as a child and later turned that sense of history's volatile tides into drama that was playful, elegant, and ethically sharp. His parents' early sacrifices and the new life his mother built in Britain helped shape a writer who loved argument, paradox, and moral tension. He married Josie Ingle in 1965, and they divorced in 1972, with the demands of his rising career often noted in accounts of that separation. He won the Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay for Shakespeare in Love in 1999, and his stage honors included major prizes for works that tested the boundaries of modern theater. Reactions after his death emphasized how his comedy served as a precise instrument for truth-seeking. His legacy remains a model for artists who trust audiences with complexity. Bob Bongo Starkie. Bob Bongo Starkie was born July 26, 1952, in Australia, and died on November 29, 2025, at age 73 in Australia, after acute myeloid leukemia. Raised in a musical family and inspired by his older brother Peter, he learned early that spectacle and skill could live side by side. Friends remembered him as spirited and generous, someone who could turn rehearsals into celebrations while still demanding tight musicianship. He shared later life with his partner Chrissy, and those close to them described a relationship marked by loyalty and humor through the long months of treatment. Joining Skyhooks in 1973, He helped shape the band's bright, rebellious identity during a period when Australian rock was redefining itself in front of a national audience. As a member of Skyhooks, he shared in the group's induction into the ARIA Hall of Fame in 1992. The tributes that followed his death focused on his refusal to let illness define his last chapter. His legacy lives in the fearless confidence of a performer who treated the stage as a place of joy. Miles Goodwin. Miles Goodwin was born June 23, 1948, in Woodstock, New Brunswick, and died on December 3, 2023, at age 75 in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Cause of death not publicly disclosed as of December 4, 2025. Raised by supportive parents in Atlantic Canada, he carried a love of blues and hard rock into a career that made April Wine one of the country's most enduring arena bands. He became known for a distinctive voice and a songwriter's instinct for hooks that still feel honest decades later. He married and later divorced, and while detailed reasons were not widely reported, he often spoke with gratitude about family and friends who steadied him as health issues grew more public. He received the SOCAN National Achievement Award in 2002 and the East Coast Music Association's Dr. Helen Creighton Lifetime Achievement Award in 2003, recognizing a catalog that helped open doors for later Canadian rock acts. Industry reactions remembered him as hard-working and unexpectedly gentle with younger musicians. His legacy lives in the steady confidence of songs that made Canadian rock feel global. Sandra Day O'Connor. Sandra Day O'Connor was born March 26, 1930, in El Paso, Texas, and died on December 1, 2023, at age 93 in Phoenix, Arizona, from complications related to advanced dementia and a respiratory illness. The daughter of Ada Mae Wilkie and Harry Alfred Day, she spent her formative years on an Arizona ranch where independence and practical judgment were everyday habits. She married John J. O'Connor III in 1952, and their long partnership was widely described as affectionate and equal, with both valuing family life as the foundation of public service. After raising 3 sons, she rose through Arizona's legal and political ranks, and in 1981 became the first woman appointed to the U.S. Supreme Court, gaining a reputation for careful, pragmatic reasoning in closely divided cases. She received the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2009 for her historic impact. The public mourning that followed her death emphasized her civic spirit and her ability to model principled disagreement without bitterness. Her legacy endures in the paths she cleared for women in law and in a style of leadership that prized balance over performance. Bob McGrath. Bob McGrath was born June 13, 1932, in Ottawa, Illinois, and died on December 4, 2022, at age 90 in Norwood, New Jersey, from complications of a stroke. Raised in a Midwestern family that recognized his musical gifts early, he trained his warm tenor with discipline before television introduced him to a new kind of audience. He married Anne McGrath in 1958, and their decades-long marriage, blessed with children and grandchildren, was remembered as a loving partnership grounded in faith and humor. As one of the original human cast members of Sesame Street, he became a reassuring neighbor whose songs and gentle presence helped children feel safe in a complicated world. Beyond the show, his recordings and books extended that same calm encouragement into homes and classrooms. The reactions after his death were filled with gratitude from adults who said his voice had been part of their earliest memories. His legacy remains a reminder that kindness, delivered consistently, can be a lifelong art. Christine McVie. Christine Ann McVie was born July 12, 1943, in Greenodd, Lancashire, and died on November 30, 2022, at age 79 in London, England, from an ischemic stroke with metastatic cancer as a contributing condition. The daughter of Cyril Perfect and Beatrice Perfect, she moved from classical piano to the British blues circuit, developing a melodic style that balanced restraint with emotional candor. She married Fleetwood Mac bassist John McVie in 1968, and they divorced in 1976, with the strains of relentless touring and changing lives often cited as context. Yet her professional bond with the band endured across decades. As a songwriter and singer, she shaped the group's most beloved era with a voice that sounded intimate even on stadium stages. With Fleetwood Mac, she shared the Grammy Award for Album of the Year for Rumours, awarded in 1978, an achievement that still stands as a high watermark of popular music. Tributes following her passing highlighted the quiet authority of her craft and the generosity of her musical spirit. Her legacy lives in songs that feel like private conversations set to timeless melody. Martha de Laurentiis. Martha de Laurentiis was born on July 10, 1954, in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and died on December 4, 2021, in Beverly Hills, California, at age 67, after a long battle with cancer. She began her public life with a model's poise named Ohio's Junior Miss in 1972, and later studied at Ball State University before working in New York. She moved into film and television production and became a steady creative leader associated with the De Laurentiis legacy, with credits that included films such as U-571, Hannibal, and Red Dragon, and the television series Hannibal. Public reporting emphasizes her marriage to producer Dino De Laurentiis in 1990, a relationship that blended private devotion with shared creative purpose, and together they had 2 daughters. In 2017, she received an honorary doctorate of humanities from Ball State. Her death prompted tributes praising her calm authority and her instinct for stories that balanced scale with intelligence. Her legacy endures in the elevated genre and prestige productions she helped bring to screens. Marcus Lamb. Marcus Darren. Lamb was born on October 7, 1957, in Cordell, Georgia, and died on November 30, 2021, in Bedford, Texas, at age 64, from complications of COVID-19. Raised in a church-centered environment, he began preaching young and eventually co-founded the Daystar television network with his wife, Joni Trammell, whom he married in 1982. Together, they raised 3 children and built a far-reaching faith-based media platform that became one of the most influential Christian networks in the United States. His public life included controversy, most notably an extramarital affair disclosed in 2010 and later criticism of Daystar's posture during the pandemic. Yet he and his family presented their marriage as a relationship rebuilt through candid accountability and shared ministry. Supporters credited him with entrepreneurial vision and on-air conviction, while critics focused on the social impact of his messaging. In the days after his death, reactions reflected that divide, but few disputed the scale of the institution he helped create. He remains a consequential figure in modern religious broadcasting. Arlene Dahl. Carol Dahl was born on August 11, 1925, in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and died on November 29, 2021, in New York City, New York, at age 96. Cause of death not publicly disclosed as of December 4, 2025. Her father, Rudolph Dahl, ran a car dealership, and early family hardship sharpened her resilience and ambition. She became a recognizable presence of mid-century Hollywood in films such as My Wild Irish Rose, Slightly Scarlet, and Journey to the Center of the Earth, then expanded her identity as a beauty entrepreneur and syndicated advice columnist. Her romantic life was complex, with several marriages and divorces. She was the mother of actor Lorenzo Lamas, and later shared a long partnership with her final husband, Mark Rosen, who spoke of her lively curiosity and discipline. While she did not define her legacy through long lists of prizes, her lasting influence came from combining glamour with business acumen and an unusually candid public voice for her era. Tributes after her death recalled her intelligence, her sharp wit, and her refusal to be limited to a single role in public life. Virgil Abloh. Virgil Abloh was born on September 30th, 1980, in Rockford, Illinois, and died on November 28, 2021, in Chicago, Illinois, at age 41 from cardiac angiosarcoma. The son of Ghanaian immigrant parents, Ni and Eunice Abloh, he trained in engineering and architecture before reshaping global style as a designer, DJ, and cultural bridge builder. He founded Off-White and became the first Black artistic director of menswear at Louis Vuitton, translating the language of street culture into luxury with a playful, referential design vocabulary that influenced an entire generation. He was married to his longtime partner Shannon, and they shared 2 sons, with friends noting his quiet devotion to family, even amid relentless travel and creation. His honors were closely tied to the historic significance of his appointment and the cultural impact of his collections. The news of his death, after a private multi-year battle with cancer, prompted widespread grief across fashion, music, and art communities. His enduring legacy is a blueprint for interdisciplinary creativity and a widening of the gates of high fashion. David Leonard Lander, was born on June 22, 1947, in New York City, and died on December 4, 2020, in Los Angeles, California, at age 73, from complications of multiple sclerosis. Raised by schoolteacher parents, Stella and Saul Landau, he discovered a love of comedy that carried him into a career spanning television, voice acting, writing, activism, and even baseball scouting. He became beloved as Andrew Squiggy Squigman on Laverne and Shirley, a character whose goofy warmth helped define the sitcom's affectionate spirit. He was married first to Thea Marcus and later to Kathy Fields, who remained his partner through decades of advocacy after his diagnosis. He spoke publicly about living with MS and worked with the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, turning personal struggle into public service. Though not known for major awards, he earned admiration for perseverance and humor that never curdled into cynicism. Industry tributes emphasized his kindness and the way he expanded the meaning of a television legacy into real-world impact. David Prowse. David Charles Prowse was born on July 1, 1935, in Bristol, England, and died on November 28, 2020, in London, England, at age 85, from complications of COVID-19. A champion weightlifter and bodybuilder before acting, he brought a towering physical authority to film, most famously embodying Darth Vader's imposing presence in the original Star Wars trilogy, even as another voice supplied the character's iconic dialogue. Raised by Frank and Ada Prowse, he later married Norma Scammell in 1963, and the couple had 3 children, with friends recalling his pride in family and his affection for the fans who approached him at conventions. He was appointed a member of the Order of the British Empire in 2009 for charitable and community work. After his death, Fellow actors and Star Wars alumni offered warm public tributes that highlighted his kindness and physical craft. His legacy is the reminder that presence, posture, and movement can be as iconic as a voice. We have now reached the quiet edge of this remembrance window, where time begins to feel like a long hallway of echoes. Each name we have spoken carries a different kind of light, and each legacy reminds us that fame is not only about visibility, but about the steady ways a person's work can shape culture, comfort a generation, or open doors for those who follow. Now, friend, let us spend a little longer with the person whose influence reached the furthest in today's remembrance. Virgil Abloh's influence reached beyond runway seasons and brand calendars because he treated culture as a conversation rather than a hierarchy. His signature approach mixed architecture's structure with music's rhythm and streetwear's immediacy, showing that luxury could be reimagined without losing rigor. Designers, artists, and young entrepreneurs saw in him a path that was not confined to a single discipline, and his work helped normalize the idea that a creative life can be built at the intersections. He had a gift for turning references into fresh language, inviting audiences to look again at objects they thought they already understood. Even those who debated his methods often acknowledged the scale of the shift he helped trigger. The most lasting part of his impact may be the confidence he gave to emerging voices to claim space, to collaborate across scenes, and to build global influence from local identity. In that sense, his absence is deeply felt, but his blueprint remains vivid. Friend, thank you for staying with these stories and holding space for each life we remembered today. If one of these legacies touched you, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this remembrance with others who value respectful tribute. I would be grateful if you leave a comment telling us which story stayed with you most, or who you hope we honor in a future episode.